And that's why Slick, we can't do stuff like that anymore. That's too crazy even for us.
What was the crazy? What are you talking about?
We had a crazy weekend, bro. You remember that?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like Project X.
I feel sorry for anyone who missed that moment for us.
Yeah,
Hi, everybody. I'm Vinny Alves, and welcome to No Pun Necessary. How's everyone doing? Everyone good? Everyone good? Yeah.
Yep, I'm doing. I thought you were talking to your audience.
Let's throw some news out the way. First things first, there's women going on strike in Poland for banning abortions. For the most part, they ban abortion, although there's some circumcision. They cannot, like, if you want to have abortion, you gotta be under rape, incest, or if the mother is under distress. Well, under mother's safety, you know, they gotta take it out, or if the mother won't be hurt or be dead. Right?
Yeah, I think maybe the word you might have been looking for was duress.
Yeah, thanks, man. Losing my words lately. I pull a Slick now. But yeah, it's crazy what's going on in Poland right now. But yeah, open it. For now, we have our guest. His name is Chris. And Chris, how you say your last name again?
It's Himaleski. Although my game show host moniker is Crazy Chris, so that's you can call me Chris. It's fine.
Chris, Crazy Chris. How you been? How's your week?
The week's not over. Like I said earlier, it's this is a thing I'll know on Sunday. So
yeah, I feel that.
It's I've got it kind of packed. I'm helping a friend who's helping me, so I give her rides to work, and then Friday I've got like a video game tournament. Saturday I've got my pilot episode for the game show I'll be recording, and then on Sunday I'll have like my first date in like 18 months. So that's.
Explain what your gaming thing's about. You drive around and people play in your car, like feels like that karaoke thing where people sing in the car. For you, it's like playing games in the car.
It actually wasn't that which triggered the idea. So I'm a rideshare driver. I drive Uber and Lyft. I've taken a little break from it as of late, but basically, when I first got my car and it was new, I was excited for it and I wanted to do something cool for my passengers. So I hooked up a Wii U and like one headrest TV and an extra controller, so two people could play Mario Kart 8. And it got such a big reception that I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna start like tricking my car out with video games. So I got multiple headrest TVs. I got it set up so 4 people can play. I put floor glow in the car, and people start and I decked out my car in vinyl stickers. By the way, it's probably like the most recognizable Prius in South Florida.
Oh, definitely, dude.
So yeah, people like had such a big reaction, but then after I put the floor glow in on top of everything else, I kept hearing something over and over, like probably like literally 700 or 800 times. I kept hearing people say, "I feel like I just walked in on a cash cab," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, "Do you know that show?" And I'd be like, "I've seen a couple episodes," and they'd talk about it, and then eventually I started replying with, "Maybe I should do something like that," and they would egg me on, like, "Yeah, maybe you should." And so at first I was going to get really cheap with it. I was just going to like aim a GoPro at the TV. And, like,
hey, that works.
But it wouldn't have, though. But then I ended up like taking the idea more seriously, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm going to make a video game show where people get in their ride shares and play video games to win prizes. And the idea started forming, about 3 years ago, and I've just been gradually working toward it since. I feel like a functional person would have gotten this out of the way in like a year, but that's not me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm almost there. I'm doing my pilot episode on Halloween, and then my editor's out of the country, so I've got to take a gamble on this Moroccan guy from Fiverr. But it's the important thing is it gets done.
Oh man, so you've been doing this for a few years and kept on going. Good for you, man. Right?
I've had setbacks.
Oh yeah, right? Life.
Yeah.
But you did it. Your car is pretty much tricked out. Your inside car looks dope in gaming and kind of has an aesthetics feeling, actually.
A what?
Has an aesthetics feeling a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you do that on purpose, that aesthetics feeling in the car?
Well, I mean, obviously the floor glow, but there's a lot of wires that are on display. Not much I can really do about that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really show up on the webcams. I don't think it's gonna affect.
Yeah, it's not really that noticeable, so that's good, actually.
Yeah. Like I even I set up a laptop mount so I could actually hook up like an Elgato, like a game capture device, to my laptop from my Switch. And when I was reading about using hubs for webcams, I kept reading like, "Oh, don't do that. You shouldn't do that." But I'm like, well, the alternative is like these expensive, like $3,000 low latency IP cameras, and that's not gonna work. I can't do that. I can't afford that. So I tried out the hubs, and all I had to do to get 5 webcams running on 2 hubs in like OBS, like the streaming software, all I had to do to get that running was lower the resolution of the cameras, and it runs totally fine.
And the quality's still good there. It's like trying to find that perfect balance.
I wasted all this money because people kept saying don't use hubs. And now I'm like upset that I did because it's like, oh, all I had to do was ignore those people, and my research betrayed me. You know?
Yeah, we gotta find your own creative solution, man.
Yeah, I think I managed to accomplish that.
Yeah, I wonder how many people you got in your car so far to drive and play.
I mean, I've given over the course of a driver, I've probably given close to like 9,500 rides at this point. And I'd say, you know, it's maybe 1 in 3 people, 1 in 4, or someone in 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 parties on average. But then, you know, you drive certain areas on the weekends, like downtown, or back when I was doing theme park pickups in Orlando, like
theme park pickups.
Yeah, like when I was living in Orlando for a while, and I would do pickups outside of like Universal and stuff. And when in that environment, almost everybody is playing. And they actually wore down my my Joy-Cons pretty quick. I was getting some nasty stick drift. But like I got it repaired more or less.
So mostly Switch games you play, or different other multiplayer games, like Xbox or PlayStation?
So I could run a PlayStation or Xbox. The only issue is the quick setup style arcade games, and having like a big library of them with the small enough file sizes to do that. It's really just the most convenient on a Switch. I do have my PS5 secured, so
nice.
Yeah, so it's like it's conceivably, but as far as just quick setup arcade style or quick challenge setup games that I could do for game show challenges, as far as that's concerned, the Switch I feel is the best option to go with. I don't need anything graphically powerful. I mean, I have a power inverter in my trunk. I have a second, like a big one that I can use to run a PS5 or PS4 or an Xbox, but it's just running the Switch through my little inverter gets the job done.
Switch games are fun.
Yeah.
I wonder, you ever heard of the emulator games called emulator game simulator called Fightcade?
Fightcade, no. Wait, maybe? Is it?
It's like people modulate like our old arcade games you can play online with people or people near you.
I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, I'll show it to you one day. Like, it's cool. You can play like Street Fighter or Final Fight online with a lot of people. Like, just download old emulated arcade games, and then boom, you can play with people, or even Metal Slug also.
You know what that reminds me of is there was actually, I didn't know about this at the time. I'm like retrospectively mad at my parents considering how much I play kart racers online.
Nice.
But back, Super Nintendo days, they actually had a little modem cartridge that you could plug into your SNES and play certain games online, like with a dial-up connection on your Super Nintendo. And you could actually play like Super Mario Kart online, even back in the day. Yeah, and I was just never made aware of it.
I never knew that either. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel kind of old right now, man.
Like, there were actually a lot of online things that were like, that just people didn't know about, like with the Nintendo 64, the N64 double drive or disc drive. It only released in Japan, but that even had an online service. So actually people in Japan, who were subscribed to that service could play Mario Kart 64 online. And that's something I'd like to be able to do.
I know people now on the internet able to play Wii and 64 games online with other people.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I have friends or I join forums to do that, but I have no idea how to do that so much.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool how people have the innovative to do things like that.
Yeah, I mean, there was just even the GameCube had aftermarket products that allowed for online play.
Yeah, but that wasn't like long term. Like, it went down pretty quickly though, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think for some reason I just don't think it caught on. I think with the Sega Dreamcast, because that was the first console that had like online accessibility like built into it. I think it was a little more stable on that for that reason, because a lot of people just weren't like, it just wasn't occurring to them to get aftermarket products.
Are you worried that sometime you might get Rageholics when you're driving around and you're playing games? Like playing Smash or Mario Party. That's like one of the bigger ones.
Like a passenger will lose their
mind. Lose their mind. Yeah, definitely. Lose their mind, destroy stuff. I mean, we all saw that happen. Well, mostly me and you, possibly.
Destroy stuff, I don't know. Like when I do the show, I'm gonna permit people to hammer fist the door panel just below the window if they want, because the handle guard.
What
might
happens
pop
if
off.
someone big as a rock gets so mad you just punch through the door? What about that?
You know what? It wasn't Nerd Rage related. I did get one really scary passenger, and I couldn't really engage this guy because this guy was like built like a Marine, right?
Yeah.
And he was like really. So I should have just canceled the ride the moment I sensed something was wrong. And dude, I've learned to do that now. I have like a 35% acceptance rating for my Uber rides.
Nice.
Because I am like so flighty after some of my experiences. But like this guy, he's calling me. He's like, "Hey man, yeah, just wondering if you're almost here." He's got this little like hyena laugh. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm almost there. He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about the cops. They're not here for you. They're here for me."
What?
And I thought, all right, that's weird. But I just still went to pick this guy up. And the guy I don't think he was drunk. I think he was high. I don't know. Maybe he was one of the cops' friends or something. I don't know. But the cops, the cops in Boca, I believe it is specifically, is where this was. They do this obnoxious thing where occasionally they'll hail a ride for someone who's intoxicated. Like they'll help them get the Uber. But sometimes that person's a loony, and really it's like, I've seen nights where there's so many like cops around, just they have an excess of staff, and it's like, one of you guys should do this. These guys shouldn't be interacting with the general public right now.
Wow.
But yeah, this guy, like normally I tell people like I don't like want to take them to like a fast food window. I don't like the smell. I've been like vegan for 10 years. The smell bothers me. And so this guy though, he wanted to go to Burger King, and he's like, he's like, "Hey, can I go to Burger King? Let's go to Burger King, man." And I'm just like, actually, let me rewind a moment. From the very moment I picked this guy up, right? So he gets in the car, and he's like, "Oh, man." So we're driving off. He's like, "Oh, man, it's a good thing you came by. I was about to get into a fight with so many people." He's like, and I'm just like, all right.
It felt like a long car ride, though, with him?
It was probably a 10-minute car ride. It felt like a 45-minute car ride. It might have been 15. But so he's like talking about, "Hey man, yeah, you want to help me? I want to go back, man. I want to fight those guys. You want to help me? Let's go back and fight those guys, Chris." And I'm just like, they're probably gone by now. He's like, "You're right." And I'm just like, I'm just gonna give like the most benign non-answers to anything this guy says, so he can just kind of project on me, and I can just get through this experience. But he's like, "You want to go to Burger King, man? Let's go to Burger King." And normally I would tell people no, but this guy is like Looney Tunes. And so I'm just like, all right. So we go to Burger King, and this is why I suspect he was on some kind of upper and not so much drunk, because like he was eating in the back seat, which normally, honestly, I would just kick people out for unless they asked permission, and I was okay with whatever they were eating. But I'm not engaging this guy like at all. He's like, "You want to go to Burger King?" And I'm like, yeah, I'll take you. And he's like, "Do you want anything?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "You don't?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good." And he's like, "You're sure?" I'm like, I've never eaten Burger King." And then he's just like, he just starts cracking up. He's like, "What?" And so yeah, this guy is like, we're driving back after the Burger King. And by the way, the reason I suspect he wasn't very drunk was like, the backseat was immaculate. He didn't get a crumb anywhere.
Really?
Eating in a car, yeah.
Wow, I never hear that before. I usually make mess in the car when I eat.
Yeah, no, the back seat was like, it looked cleaner than when he got in. It was weird.
Even that sounds way crazy saying that.
Yeah, and he's like, so we're almost at his place, and he's like, "Chris," I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you trust me?" And I'm like, "Trust you with what?" Like the question I regret asking immediately. He's like, "With your life." And I'm just like, sure, why not? He's just like, "That's what I like about you, man. Balls to the wall." So I finally like get to this guy's place and drop him off, like grateful that there nothing awful happened, and I call the Boca Police Department, and I'm like, "What the hell are you people doing?"
Wow, that was a crazy night.
Yeah, I've had a number of experiences like that. I've had the really crazy experiences back when I was like first starting out, and I wasn't filtering out my rides very religiously.
Yeah. But dude, that's crazy, man. Like, there's some crazy people in nighttime. Like, a bunch of cartoon characters out there.
Yeah, it's bananas, and I'm a nighttime driver because it's just easier to keep up with the AC. There's less traffic. It's easier to make money and get from A to B.
That's fair.
And the driving itself is more soothing, even if the passengers aren't. So
Nighttime driving is fun, but I don't want to deal with picking up people like that, like New York Taxi.
Like
sorry. I used to do Uber Eats, but I'm afraid to do Uber because I'm white kind of people I may meet. Either they be crazy, mean, or just drunk, or all the above.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten my fair share of inebriated passengers, and I've had interesting experiences, and I feel actually so stupid about this one incident in hindsight. Like I pick up this one girl, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't hit on my passengers.
Did they ever hit on you though?
Early on, they did. Like when I was 28, and I still had a bit of my cuteness left in me. I'm like 32 now. But this girl gets in. This is actually early, in my first year. I was 28, and she's like gorgeous. She's like my exact tastes. But I'm not like I am dumb. You have to remember this. Like when it comes to hints, if I'm not on the spectrum, I may as well be, because you got to hit me over the head with a brick for me to get it. Like this girl's like asking me personal questions, and she's like, and keep in mind, I'll go into this thing I was about to say later, but like this girl keeps asking me personal questions, like, are you what was it? She asked me how old I am. She's like, oh, I'm like, oh, I'm 28. She's like, yeah, I'm 24. I'm still a baby, and she's like, and she's just asking me like. I don't think she asked me directly if I had a girlfriend. It might have been a proxy question. I don't remember the conversation like perfectly. But I'm just answering everything she says with like a yes or no question, and I guess correctly she assumes like he's not getting it. I'm just gonna ask him out. And she asked me like if she wants if she can take me to the pancake house. Like this is like around I think midnight, and
midnight pancakes. Sounds good. Go on.
Or was it Pancake House? Or I don't know, some pancake establishment. IHOP. I don't know. So I was just like, it's just that it's not really anything I can eat there because I'm vegan. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she's like trying really, really hard to get my interest. And it's like, so I know at this point that she's interested, but at the time, and still really, like I can't bring myself to date a non-vegan. And it's lonely to live that way because they're really rare, and then you find one and they don't have that same exclusivity standard, and it's tough. It's very isolating. But when I told her that I'm vegan, she starts talking about how when I was growing up, I had like a weird reaction to meat, like an allergy or something, and my parents kept taking me to doctors, and I eventually grew out of it, but there was like they couldn't figure out what it was, and I'm just like, oh, it doesn't sound like there's anything wrong with you. Well, the reason she's bringing this up, probably, in hindsight, is she can't just kowtow to a total stranger she's just met, be like, I'll do anything for you. But she's kind of suggesting that if she likes me and it goes somewhere, she's open to looking into those things. And she can't say that up front. She's trying to hint at it, but I'm so stupid.
Yeah, we all
I'm so stupid. I just didn't get it at the time, you know what I mean? And like I look back on that, and I'm thinking, like, that would have been a good relationship, most likely. Just... She was like super forward and everything, and that probably would have gone in a good direction. I'm just like, oh, I'm an idiot. Relationships are rare for me, so.
Yeah. It's hard to find relationships these days, especially this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of already. Oh, do I need my?
No, as you want, man. Yeah, no, man. If you want, you work with it. You work with. Oh, right, thanks, dude. Got it. Yeah, but imagine you find a love of your life in your own game show. That'd be pretty cool, though. I have kind of like a schizophrenic way of looking at that, actually. Like, I am a little afraid of success in a way where if the game show took off and someone expressed interest in me after that, I would be suspicious of them. Like and then I would just be more isolated, and like I've got this date over like this. I'm actually really excited because it's been like 18 months since I had a date. Like my last date, it was super awkward. I just like my dates can be described as more like missed opportunities. But this girl, I messaged her on a vegan dating app, and she says in her profile, I'm successful. I have this business. I do this. I do that.
And I just introduced myself saying, "Hi, I'm Chris. I'm not successful like you are, but I'm taking my last shot at artistic satisfaction next week." And she replied to that, and she
That's
wasn't like,
cool.
yeah, and she wasn't like put off, but yeah, she seems very genuine, and so I get to meet her on Sunday, but I've got to drive all the way over to Naples,
Oof. Wow.
which is fine. I'm genuinely not tethered.
Yeah,
Thanks.
man. Go for it. We believe in you.
Yeah, it's been a painfully long time.
Jesus, man.
I've only had actually the one relationship. It lasted like 4.5 years, and
wow.
the whole time though I was just kind of tolerating it because she had her sweet moments. You know, you live for those, and then but she had a lot of hostile moments, and she was indoctrinated by like the Andrea Dworkin style of radical feminism. This like women are constantly under too much stress and duress in society to give their consent, and just all these horrible arguments.
So she wasn't thinking of you as much in the picture, was she? Or was she thinking of you in the picture as much, or she wasn't thinking of herself?
I'm not quite sure how you're phrasing that question.
Like when she says stuff like that.
Mostly about herself more than
Oh, well, we lived together. Like she lost her place and early in the relationship and moved in with me pretty quick.
Wow.
But she was like, at one point she just started getting really hostile with me, and I never knew until after the relationship ended years later that it was because she subscribed to this like ideology. Like I tried to get her as a gift one time, like the Jack and Daxter collection.
Oh,
You
nice.
like Jack and Daxter?
Yeah, who does?
Yeah, most people like Jack and Daxter. She's playing through it, and I guess she gets to the part. I guess she didn't like the female representation of a character early in the game. I don't remember anything particularly egregious, but she's so Pavlovian dog trained that she got to that part in the game, and she just kind of tosses the game aside. She looks at me, she's like, "This is disgusting," and I'm like, "Jack and Daxter is disgusting?" Like she had just been like watching Anita Sarkeesian videos for the previous few weeks, and yeah, that's it started to deteriorate around that time.
People, man. But are you like after a while? You still talk to her, or you still on like?
I tried talking to her. I tried helping her out when she needed help, and I did. But like one point, I kind of like ribbed her a little bit. Like I trolled her a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. It was kind of meant to be playful, but she just blocked me, and that was that. And she'll block people with political differences, and I don't do that because I think when people have political differences, I don't think they necessarily have principled differences. I think I think basically it's category differences. So, and that's how I'm able to hold friendships with people who don't share my political views. So, for instance, like, okay, I'm pro-capitalism and you're pro-socialism. We both agree that we want what will be best for society. So we don't have a moral difference there. We just have a difference in the idea of execution. So that's why I try to think of people as being basically morally the same wherever I can,
Right.
instead of focusing on those category differences.
Yeah, but there are some people takes it a bit too far with it.
Yeah, they're like, you know, if you're with this or if you believe this, don't even talk to me. And they're
Yeah,
like,
like, dude, chill, man.
I I was thinking about maybe going to
society is just like that, labels and sensitivity.
yeah.
yeah.
Surprise-
Never mind. I'm not gonna go into what I was about to, but
Yeah, but you know, people in general, I'm sure we all know they have different ideas. Some can take too far, some are righteous with it. You know, there's most of the time they're just good people with different ideologies.
yeah.
But like I said, before we head off, like I like your idea of like your gaming car, like you drive around people, they play in a car and
Yeah.
get prizes for it.
Yeah, and if I could just state what the actual, as it is on the screen, if you want a YouTube or a Facebook, Driven to Win video-game show. Game show is one word. You should be able to pull it up on YouTube if you type it in that way, or on Facebook. And that's the project. I do my recording for the first episode on Halloween, and then periodically afterward till I have like 5 or 6.
Oh
episodes.
man, can't wait to see the pilot, man. Can't wait to see people probably maybe get angry for losing the game of Super Smash, like I've seen a lot of mobile players do.
Yeah, there's $100 worth of consolation prizes and gift cards though, even if they lose everything. So I don't want anyone to leave
Oh,
empty-handed.
it's okay. Here's $5, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's $100 worth of stuff.
Not on the platform.
Huh?
Like, would you take anyone that's not on the platform of Uber and Lyft?
You know, I feel like I feel like going through the platform is the best way to go. I'm not getting their permission. Screw that. This is
Nice.
an easier to get forgiveness than permission situation. I didn't need permission for the video games, and they celebrate that. So, but yeah, I wouldn't go off the platform because I think I'm not going to name drop the platforms on the show itself, but people will know that it's ride shares that it's coming from, and that's the appeal of Cash Cab, right? That's the main gimmick, is this feeling of it could be me. And watching these people that don't know they're on it till they're on it is exciting. And so if people think, oh, this could be my ride share, and I'm not just in one city, I drive, all around Florida at random times. And so I'm kind of expanding on that concept of it could be me. And so, just trying to make it more broadly appealing.
I'm excited to see it now.
Thank you. Yeah. So, I've got the intro video. I don't know if I showed you already.
I don't think you did. Yeah, I want to see it. Dang,
Okay. I've got the intro video. It's kind of like a punk rock thing. And then
Yeah, man.
get in a car with a stranger. But I've got that all set up. So yeah, the episodes will start rolling out once my Moroccan dude gets to it. Once I have that recording to send him. So
Yeah.
cool.
Well, guys, that's been a show today. That's great to have Crazy Chris with me. I'm Vinny, and this is no pun. What's it today? Necessary? Yeah, let's go with Necessary today. And thank you, Slick, for helping me out. Well, goodbye forever.